So, as expected, Ferrari managed to climb their way up from 9th place to 4th. With that, we're a decent chunk of points racked up for them. And of course, Tony sitting in 2nd place, coming into the last one, and racking up a 2nd place with, I believe, 9 kills. That threw them up into 1st place. Wildcats still up there. They racked up, I think, we kind of did the math yesterday, and they got half their points overall in 2 games, if not even more than that. So that's been a pretty, it's been a very inconsistent tournament so far for the Istanbul Wildcats, but of course 2 wins in a row with a decent amount of kills to it helped out yesterday. But now let's focus on the game at hand. We're going over to Miramar, and well, we've had some interesting circles here. Not the first ones. The first one's always pretty simple, I feel like, kind of in the middle, maybe on the eastern side. But then we get that circle 3, circle 4 hard shift. I mean, we've had so many brutal hard shifts. We had that Cruz del Valle circle where Istanbul Wildcats were sitting in the compound just south of it. And I can show you on the map. It was just up here. They were sitting on the compound south, and they were just like we're talking farming people trying to make their way out of the city. But now let's see. Rewap jumped out early. We got both hard shift and huge potential in or around lQuickl, so that could be an engagement waiting to happen. We haven't really seen teams fight each other early on, but I'm curious to see if this could be a first time, because Kowo and Zolters, they're landing pretty damn close to each other. But I think HeartShift might just be taking some cars and leaving. As I say that though, nope, they're indeed right on top of each other. Might want to tell Zolters there's a helmet right next to him. Yep, he does find it. Fortunately enough for him, there's also a pan a little further away. But I think he is also well aware of the fact that that MJ is right next door. So swapping swapping the Vector for... Nope, he's going to go back. I was just going to say swapping the AK for a Vector this early and this close might be a bad idea, because the Vector can be pretty damn scary. It is alone though, and this circle is as far away as it could possibly be. Kowo is landing on the islands. I guess that's a chance. That's an extra loot racked up. Oh, look at this position. Kowo might be able to catch his opponents off guard, but he has indeed been spotted. Now tries to reload. So much cover in the... They're both reloading. What is going on? Zolters is still alive. Is he gonna be able to find them both? Swap your gun, Zolters. You have 6 more bullets left. Oh my lord, with the final bullet. He finds MJ with the final bullet in his gun. What? What is going on? With the final bullet, he had... Okay, this is... I mean, okay, kudos, Zolters, you stay alive. That was very, very, very impressive. But just one little thing, Zolters. If you have to reload your Vector and you only have 6 bullets to put into that gun, and you also have a fully AK with 30 bullets on your back, next time, just swap guns. Don't reload your Vector, so you have 6 bullets to shoot. Just go over to the 30 bullet AK. It works fine. I know I said that the Vector is better for these up close fights, but just swap guns. that was an interesting way to start the day. We just complimented how, like, these guys, for how well organized they are, and nobody really lands up top of each other, and it's just been really, really crisp so far. And then this happens to start off Miramar. That was pretty interesting. But nonetheless, I mean, people were talking in chat about HeartShift winning this game. I think Zolters he didn't make it impossible. There's still a chance. There's still a chance, but he did indeed make their chances of winning quite a bit harder by taking out 2 of their players this early on in the game. I loved that. That was because I'm kind of feeling with this circle in particular that it's going to quiet down a little now. I mean, teams are going to rotate late because they know that it's going to be tough. That's the issue, right? It becomes an effect of everyone thinking that they're getting beat, and then nobody goes early. So we saw the circle. It's far down southeast, like on the southern side of Las Leones, and with the plane coming in from the northwestern side, there are a lot of teams that didn't jump out, like that jumped out early, which means that it's indeed going to be a hectic... I don't want to say late game, it could be, but it's going to be a hectic end to the first shift. Because I think there's going to be a lot of people coming in late thinking, oh, well, we're late anyway. We'll just take this kind of edge position. But there's going to be so many teams trying to do that exact same thing that that we might see a lot of teams kind of roll in on top of each other in approximately the same time of the circle. The idea is that you can kind of have, like, with teams landing, some land in the circle, some land close to the circle, some land far away from the circle. They also rotate to the circle in their, I guess you can say, allocated time slot. So normally when everything is super smooth, teams will just rotate in kind of one after another, and it all works out well. But with this circle being so far away from such a big chunk of the teams, we have 6 teams up north. 6 teams. Actually make that 5 teams. I guess if you count MJ Esports as well, it's 6. But 5 teams up north. And I don't think any of them is really trying to get in there early. I mean, of course, GRHawk gonna wrap around south. I would assume that we'll see a lot of teams wrap around north as well, because teams don't really want to be caught on the wrong side of Las Leones. It just takes so long to rotate around that city. So teams would rather be on the either eastern or southern side of Las Leones, and then always, I mean, you can always push into Las Leones, but it very often is very difficult to get out of there if there's teams sitting on the hills. So I assume that also, taking into account the fact that that over half the circle is water, I assume that we'll see a lot of teams getting locked down into very, very, very little areas. And Jambawe now on the rotation. GRHawk, that was a 3, make that 4-man committed camp, and it only, front flip Jambawe. Nope, he's actually gonna continue driving. I like the idea of this. As we just saw it on the minimap. I don't know if you guys managed to spot it out. Jambawe is actually driving uphill with a 3-wheel vehicle. That's scary. Where are you expecting to get to, Jambawe? Just stop. You had a compound to stop in. Okay, he's gonna, either they're gonna fight him. I wouldn't expect that to happen, but we'll see. But what I did like about that play was that ewanng actually drove behind the Stellar players, so he could provide all the info that his teammate needed. Like, I'm just gonna keep driving behind these guys, and then he kind of, you know, like sheep herders, they kind of guide their sheep, like their sheep over towards the where they're, I guess you can say where they're supposed to be. I don't know what that word, like in their fence, whatever. And I think that was kind of what happened. So he kept driving behind them, and he could just tell his teammates, well, they're going this direction, just stop right there, and they weren't ready for it at all. So great play. Great play by GRHawk. They came out really, really tough last game with, I believe, 0 points. So good start for them here. enoootuuuk now. Oh, he had to stop. Headshot was connected. Stratus and Min are now there to take him out. Alrein and GRHawk are pushing in. Stratus, I would assume, is going to take up an 8. Yes, he is, but the teammates are there to assist, or not at least some sort of pressure applied in return. Alrein goes down immediately. That's not the... that's not what the start you wanted to have to this engagement. GRHawk does find one, so a bit of pressure put in. Return nade's thrown over towards enoootuuuk. Is able to get the first hit off, so he should be able to push down forward and start helping, but he still expects Stratus to be around. And as you can see, with Nox coming in further down the road, they need to prioritize that. Stratus is actually leaving, Min is leaving as well. Does enoootuuuk see them on the road? He does. That's a big misplay. Oh my lord, he knocks him through the smoke. What? What? He actually got him through the smoke. He knew approximately where he was resting. They were just continuously shooting down towards him. That is huge, because Stratus and Mina were already leaving. And now Level is starting to take a fight with ToxicPlayers. That's down on the edge of the road. So we're seeing all these kind of, I don't want to call it gatekeeping, because they're outside the circle themselves too. But a lot of rotation blockades being set up by these roads. I mean, there are only so many. We talked about how all these teams are going to come in either from the east and go down south, or from the south and go east. I mean, nobody's going to go straight north to southeast. It's all going to be out to the edge and around on either the northern or the southern side. And that makes it very easy for teams that are closer to say, well, you're only going to come in from so many different roads. Now we can just stop here and wait for you. So very, very difficult for some of these teams to rotate in when they rotate late. That's the issue, right? Because and that's why I thought more teams would be a lot later than what they were, simply because of the fact that that you don't want to be the team caught out on those rotations. And oh my lord, we are going south. And for all these teams that are north now, not only do they have to wrap it, I mean, they might just want to go west right now. Go west around the city. You don't want to do this. Look at this, he's just letting them through. He's letting it right into the jaws And there's no way Trucker can stop now. There's literally no way he can stop. Mikhailovich finds himself one. Actually, it's going to be Extens to find Blackliht there. There are so many teams right now gatekeeping and doing like all these blockades. Moonlight, he was just sitting there waiting in the shack, trying to let him through, and he gets himself a double. Important damage done by him as well, and Existence. They go down once more. Quick. Last remaining player on the team does find the knock onto one. Might be able to get a flush on it. Not right now, though. Tries to reposition. Maybe get himself into a better position. But as you can see as well, Moonlight using that vehicle as best as he can for cover while the teammates are coming over to assist. He's looking for him, trying to see anyone else make the moves up towards him. That's a dead player. Can't get any damage done on that one. Guess who gets taken down? So that's going to be Ferrari Breach now setting up a potential blockade. Guess who I think was trying to split into the other compound, but Ferrari Breach were already there. And so far, so far we've lost 15 players. And I don't think we've really seen anyone go down in a fight other than the first two. Up in PagyrA, we've lost 13 players on rotations so far. That is very, very, very rare to see. But then again, of course, I mean, it was a northern plane with a southern... Akko is still sailing, by the way. There is a northern plane with a southern circle. That does mean that teams have the chance to. We don't see it very often. I mean, in PL, NPL, even the Korean League, we rarely ever see these full-on committed type of blockades on the entrance points to the circle, but they made it work well here in Contenders Promo. Maybe that's something the PEL and such teams can learn to do, or maybe they just value the spot in the circle that much more over the risk of trying to set up a gate camp. Because the fact of the matter is that looking at, for example, where Stella is right now, of course it is good compounds, but had it been just the corner of any given circle, they would have been sitting there waiting, and if nobody comes, then it's just so much more valuable to go center and take the spot instead, and especially on this area of the map where there isn't really that much to play in the center other than what's already taken. So if they could have had one of those compounds and had the circle shift there, it's so much more crucial to obtain that rather than maybe getting a couple of kills, because you normally only get the first guy and then the other three they turn away. So unless if you get that situation where three guys rotate in one vehicle or they go right on top of each other, you rarely ever get a whole lot out of it. Now Markello, he's found Akko. Boat is smoking, but Akko does manage to get out of it. It's a 1v1. Akko is down low. I like the fact that Markello pushes on it because he knows he had to heal. He saw the blood, saw the damage done, but he has lost intel on where Marco is. Now, where can he be? That's the next call. Where can he be? Marco hasn't been allowed. Akko hasn't been allowed to do any healing. So Markello is going to look up. Oh, no, gets caught with an 8 in hand. That should be the info he needs. That should also be the chance to get the knock, and it is indeed. Gets the flushing on him too. Markello racking up a point for Toxic Gamers. They lost players early on as well, and he's now trying to stay put, but as you can see, the guys from Intruders have spotted him from above, so that's not going to make things easy for him whatsoever. They're pushing down in that direction, actually, as we speak, and I'm not sure if... I think Markello might be the last remaining player on his team, and if Intruders decide to stick around, because they are inside the circle, if they decide to stay here and try and contain him, that would make it very, very difficult for him to really do anything. But unfortunately for Akko, he was sailing for literally the entire game, and then he gets killed as soon as he gets back on land. TonyTeam throwing nades up towards the guys in MJ Esports. We only have two guys inside the building. Mina and Stratos are alone here. They've lost Juna and Ojala early on, and now the push is indeed coming in. Only one guy so far up near the buildings. Seems like Sabin is gonna jump up and then run back off immediately. Actually jumps down and takes a bit of damage, but they're gonna say, you know what, you guys, you can sit up there. We'll play downstairs. And I like this place from Mini. I like to play. You're very exposed up on the hillside above you, but for now, with him not really being visible to anyone else, should be able to get a little bit of an off angle. Should they be interested in peeking out? So nice little off angle. I think I see Lhasa in the distance from Istanbul Wildcats, potentially wanting to get an angle on them, but I'm not sure if that was what he was looking for. Could be fooled by the camera angle. Quick. Low HP, last player alive as well. He's driving straight into the team that was shooting at him before, and I don't think this is gonna happen, buddy. This vehicle better be your best friend if you want to get up there, and that's exactly what we keep talking about. These steep hills are your killer for the most part. FLasm Our top damage dealer so far is gonna send an 8 flying high over towards him. Is it gonna be on the money? No. Not down, but indeed he does end up getting taken down, and that's extends despite having a really solid first day. Once again, they failed to really get anything going. They were sitting, I believe, in 2nd place after day 1, and now they're all the way down in 12th place. So a tough start. A tough start for them on yet a day where things don't really go their way. And also just, I mean, it's crazy how FLasm keeps racking up points. Coming into this game, FLasm was sitting at 3,200 damage approximately. The closest one to him was at 2,700. That's actually quick that he just killed. But the difference in that was that FLasm has 11 kills more. He has 11 more kills than Quick does. And we are only 9 games in, so that's pretty damn impressive. It's not a statistic you see proven that massively. Whether it's because he gets a lot of kills or whether it's because Quick doesn't ever get any kills, I don't know. But very, very impressive performance by FLasm so far for sure. Now let's see, the next circle has to go away from water, and I like the fact that it pretty much goes to the only place where there actually is a little bit of water. We always say circle 4 away from water, and then it goes down to the kind of right-hand corner where there's a little bit of water, just to be cruel. But then again, it's something to do with how the algorithm. I'm not even gonna get into it because there's a lot of different things that can happen. But 43 43 players alive, and as I said, we lost 13 early on rotation kills. 13 players went down on circle 1 rotations. So that's a pretty massive number for a circle that, well, technically should give people enough space to rotate. It just, everyone just seemed to find the same paths, and then of course it does make sense because nobody wants to go through Los Leones. And then you have 4 street that go east to south or west to east. I mean, there's not really anything else you can do if you want to wrap around the underneath. Moynick-sando, he's inside. Oh, enoootuuuk got knocked. If Moynick-sando realizes that was next to him, that would be massive. He might actually get a double off of this. He does! No! No! Oh, you know, in all fairness, that's a really, really great read by Moynick-sando. That is a very, very good read by Moynick-sando because he had, oh my god, MOLNMAN, unfortunately, did get the headshot on towards Stratus, but he goes down. Beami was down just before as well. But I gotta give credit to Moynick-sando. I mean, in all fairness, he's a player that coming into this game doesn't really have a lot of kills. He has 3 kills in the tournament so far. So, and I'm not taking anything away from that in terms of him being a good player. I'm just saying he hasn't been the kill strong player so far. So for him to go aggressive on a situation where he doesn't necessarily know if it was a 2v1 or 1v1, I mean, that is that's a confidence play that you don't see that many players do. Jambawe trying to avoid a 0-point game. But all of MJ Esports are kind of waiting for him. Hopefully MOLNMAN had some first aids he can use because we are in phase 4, and as you can see, he wasn't exactly right next to the circle, so it's gonna be a little difficult for him to really do anything. But you just gotta go back to Moynick-sando. I mean, one thing is the fact that he commits to the play. Oh, Taravilla with the AK, great play by him. One thing is that I mean, it's just the fact that he registered that it was on him that vehicle flip happened and saw in the kill feed. Very smart play from a player that's had a tough time in the tournament so far. So kudos, Moynick-sando. You're back in the game. And yeah, that's good. Stratus, well, he's technically still in the game, but I don't know how much longer because his vehicle is upside down. And as you can see, he doesn't really have any teammates pretty much anywhere near him. Does he even have teammates? I actually think he's the last player on his team. That's unfortunate. We saw one knock coming in from tower just before, and I think that means that because they lost, they lost Jala and another teammate early on. So Stratus is by himself in arguably a playable spot, and Jambawe is still running. On the northwestern side, Jambawe still runs, and Moynick-sando is on the south. Those are the 2 solos for now to look out for. Of course, we have Stratus there in the mix. But look at how much space... Oh, my lord. I was just going to say, look at how much space there is to the northeast. If the circle goes there, that could be interesting. And it did. So right now we are forcing all these players that are on the west side of the circle. I'm counting somewhere around 6 or 7. 1 HP ain't gonna be enough. Jambawe goes down. 14th place for Stratus, 13th for Stella. That's unfortunate, but all these players that are now going to be coming in from the west, that's going to be interesting to follow. Crazy crew, they're going to do a crazy rotation up around the northern side. They're going to potentially run straight in between TonyTeam and Genso and the Istanbul Wildcats, but seems like they're going to commit it to go further over the northern side, and that's exactly going to be straight into the hands of TonyTeam, who are already sitting first place, and they're of course just looking to wrap up more points. Guy goes down. That's actually from a distance. That's Keevo from further down the hill, securing a knock-on towards him. mageBane and Fine are trying to push over the top as well, and that's what we're talking about just before. All these teams having to cross the road, and Intruders and the other guys sitting over here already. They know it. They're just waiting. There's no reason for them to try and find a center spot when they can rack up these kills on the road. Vital goes down. BSD gets a knock. I think we just saw one of the players from Mr. Wildcat shoot his teammate in the back and him turning. Oh my! Lassa literally lasering people from a distance. Of course, he didn't get the knocks, but that was 3 headshots counted back to back, pretty much 2 up the hill in the house and 1 on the sideline. That was very, very, very good amount of damage dealt in a very short amount of time. And now, well, Istanbul Wildcats, they wanted a kind of a flank around on it. They know that Crazy Crew ran into teams above, so they want to see if they can get a third-party opportunity, but they're not really in a position to do so. mageBane gets taken down to blue, and Zolters goes down as well, so huge potential despite them getting 2 kills early. Zolters was just never anywhere close to the circle, unfortunately, due to the rough rotation. mageBane goes down to the blue. Apocalypse has found Pluto. That's in the fight we saw just before. We can see how Algae is kind of by himself. And this rest is not going to be easy. He's, I mean, he's in a position where he's somewhat hidden, but as you can see, BSD is pushing forward. They know they have the knock, and they want to get the info. Fine. Not sure if he's inside the circle. I doubt that he is. Probably have to move further forward. Yes, he is in the blue already. We'll need to move in. And Pluto and Algae, they're just having a hard time finding anywhere to lay low now. They can't prone on the vehicle here, but as you can see, TonyTeam on one side, Wildcats in the south, and even if they wanted to push over north, they have HeartShift up there, so there's literally nowhere for them to go. All they can hope for is a northwest and HeartShift, and then they might just potentially be in. And look at the center of the circle here. There's no one. Nobody is in the center. You have that one little crevasse going from, well, pretty much the center of the circle straight down south. That's like I think it's a crevasse, the English word for it, like a very, very slim valley, I guess you can say, running down towards the south, and that's pretty much all you can play in that middle area. A few of them in that middle area, but ain't gonna be easy to take a center position. And for level, and for the guys up here on your screens from Team Spirit, it's gonna be extremely difficult to find anywhere to lay low, especially with Intruders down in the south. Raduga gets eliminated. Still 3 players alive from level, and HeartShift, well, the HeartShift didn't go to them. In fact, the HeartShift didn't really go anywhere. It's somewhat center circle, but they were far out on the edge, and now they have to cross. As you can see, both Boris, they're waiting on one side. TonyTeam are waiting as well, and they're all expecting the players from their team to come crossing at just a moment, and it's going to be a very difficult, very, very difficult situation for them to really do anything about. Level, they've pushed further over. Murphle is by himself, but he does have the teammates nearby. As you can see, Markelov underneath. lQuickl comes in to help too. I think someone has given info that Iffy is indeed in the nearby area. Markelov, great headshot connected on towards Iffy. There's no counterplay to that whatsoever. Very, very difficult to deal with. Now Nihanas try to push forward. Going to do the damage needed. Yes, that's going to be both of them down. Extends gets a double. Markelov found by FLasm. FLasm gets himself flushed in the back foot of that, so despite them getting a lot of kills, they do get eliminated in 9th place. Now, Ferrari, Breach, and Wildcats forced into a fight on the northern side. Mikhailovic, at the same time, trying to hold off all of Team Spirit by himself, and he's not even inside the circle either. So, difficult situation for him to be in. Teammates are on the northern side of him, so might be able to do something. Now, Wildcats holding off Ferrari, Breach, the winners of the previous game. Good job doing just that. They're still in the circle, and most importantly, look at that, with them eliminating the entirety of Ferrari, Breach. That gives them so much more breathing room here on the western side of the circle. Fine gets found. Lassa able to pick him out, And that's going to be Rewop down in 7th place. Mikhailovic went down as well. So 2 players alive on the northern side. It's going to be Sando and Extens. And then we have all of Team Spirit pushing around further on the east. But as I said before, there's not really a whole lot for them to play in and around there. Nate inside the building, sure, but no damage done towards either Papagai or Saban. They'll stand strong for now. Pluto and Algae, in all fairness, I mean, they've kind of made it out of a situation that I didn't really expect them to be able to get out of. Damage done from this side. Intruders from underneath. Shoot up towards the team running there. And Extens and Keevo. Or Extens and Santo find Keevo. One more player still in the smoke. Extens can't really seem to get eyes on him. Just gonna spray on through and see if you can find the damage somewhere. Of course, you want to rag up the extra point. There's the eyes on him. Not able to get the knock initially, though, but in the end, Extens does find him. So 4 kills for Extens alone so far on the elimination now on towards the team on the other side. Great flank around from Plabogai. Great double peek on them. They knew exactly where to expect the opponents. And they were the push underneath from Plabogai. Fortunately, no damage done, because as you can see, whenever you push underneath, you're quite damn exposed to anyone on the other side. But this circle has forced, well, pretty much the only team is TonyTeam to push further forward, and I think that's why they aggress so much on towards their opponents there, because had they not done that, I mean, they would have to kind of run side by side with them into the circle. So either you take the fight, potentially win it, or lose it, but either take the fight and run in alone, or you die when you run side by side. So smart play from TonyTeam to aggress there. Now they just have to send the vehicle in center somewhere. You have the hay bale stack, but how much can you stay alive from there? Not at all. Immediately eliminated. Not a whole lot they could do, unfortunately, but still 4th place for the team. 4 kill points and 4 placement points and some kill points racked up as well. Apocalypse tries to take down one from a distance. Not gonna happen. They have 6 kills so far. The Istanbul Wildcats. They're sitting in a decent placement, I believe, coming into this game as well. We'll see what they can get with this. It's like it's pretty much a 3-way split in the circle, as much as a 3-way split between the teams. I want to see, though. I want to see how this is going to add up. It's a 3-man Wildcats against 2 duos. But all of them are kind of hugging each their corner of the circle. No one can really go in and take center. Genso is crossing the road now, just trying to get anything. As you can see, sneaky peeky crossing on over. This is actually a pretty damn good position, because not only does it give them eyes from a different angle, but it also means that they have one player across at least should the circle shift out towards the eastern side. Because if it does, I'm pretty convinced that Intruders will try to hold off Wildcats, and then Genso can be the little spring trap to come out of nowhere and say, haha, surprise, and that could have worked out well for them. Murphle. And that team, ooh, how did his pan just tank a bullet when he was looking? Okay, wait, let's not question that. But anyway, Murphle down to low HP. That pan hit really saved him, because had they had the knock there, and if in case, I don't know if they're aware, but if Wildcats know that it's 2 duos they're up against, and the knock had come in, then that would most likely have been Genso pushing more aggressively. But this is a really nice off-angle position from Genso. He's just backtracking, just running behind Intruders, forcing them to look on the northern side. Well, not forcing them, but knowing that they are looking on the northern side, and that could easily be him ragging up at least 1, maybe even 2 kills in the push on forward there. Extends prone down. That nade might do damage, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Nope, a bit too far. Murphle down below. They've now spotted each other. 1 more nade to be thrown. We'll see if he can do the damage needed with a nail crop. Gets taken down to low HP, and Genso is there. We just talked about him before. He is pushing further forward. Does get the flash as well. Murphle has been spotted out too, and now Intruders on all kinds of trouble. And I would assume that this is going to be the entirety of what's left of it, of Wildcats pushing forward, because they're now in a 3v2 situation up against the guys from Boris. Yeah, no Sando's around. There are no extensors down there again, so don't tunnel vision on the guy in front of you. You cannot let Sando wrap underneath, or extends make that. You cannot let him wrap underneath you here. You need to, I mean, he should have been playing this position much more aggressive. Not necessarily peeking over, but going for the info. He might get completely caught off guard with Extends peeking over the top. That's exactly the timing you need. Let your teammate spot one. Spots one himself. 3 HP for Extends, but crucial knock. Genso gave up a position that he was most definitely in charge of holding. Speaking of American football terms, he was the contain on the side, and you cannot, like, when you're playing contain, you cannot let a player get around you the way that Extends just did. He had the position, he was down in the valley, and he had the eyes in the valley at least, and let him wrap around. That is very, very, very dangerous And very risky to do as well. Extends, I'm not even sure if Extends is in the first stage. He probably would use them if he had. But now the smokes come in. Extends 5 kills in the game so far. 2v3. It's not going to be easy, but it is indeed doable. Gets the knock. Oh, that's the flush. No, he went for the flush, and that gave up his position. They do secure the kill, but okay, that's a committed res. Wildcats? Are they going to aggress on this? I mean, there's a billion smokes. And, okay, Wildcats literally sit on the dot. Wildcats literally have the dot, but it's now a 2v2. Very doable for both teams. Wildcats don't really have to move, but they have to peek the right place when these guys come out of the smoke. Oh, did they see Extends? I don't think so. Extends has no meds at all. Apocalypse down. Extension needs to pull it off. Not gonna happen. And Wildcats with 9 kills take the win. Not in commanding fashion, but it does work out for them nonetheless. Scary game. And this one, reloading to 6 bullets. Rather than just swapping over to the 30 bullet AK. Interesting start to the game, and this of course as well. I mean, it kind of just goes to show with the highlights being thrown forward here. We had so many rotation kills, and we're talking so many rotation kills in this match. So no big surprise that all we see, as you can see here, all we see in the first half minute of the highlight reel is rotation kills, because that's all there was in the beginning of the game. 15 first players went down, except for the first 2, I guess. 13 of 15 first players went down in that circle 1 rotation. mageBane found Okko as he just got on land. He wouldn't be able to stand any longer. Guess the mermaid never got her legs. Quick was taken down again by a FLasm, so that's the fight for the first place damage dealers. And then this one by mageBane again. mageBane able to sneak his way around the corner. I guess in that sense, he was just rushing, and he gets from 3 kills in total to 5 kills in total. So almost doubling up his total kill count in the tournament so far on just one little spray down there. Tarvilo found Minne. That's once again rotation kills, rotation kills, rotation kills. All it was. Hedge connected on towards. Lhasa finds him there, and that would kind of set them up in the position, at least for the Istanbul Wildcats, that would in the end give them the win. But look at how aggressively they played around the side for the majority of the game. Very, very, very impressive performance by Wildcats, because we've been talking about Istanbul Wildcats and how, in all fairness, the majority of their good games have come off of them not getting gifted circles, but having a position from where they've had to do very little to get a lot. And in this case, I mean, even though they were in circles, they constantly went out and made sure that no one could push towards them. So not just them hiding behind cover and waiting for the circles to go towards them. This was a very, very hard fought and well-earned victory that we haven't seen. We haven't really seen them play dominant in their play style yet. They've been more of the receiving end in terms of kind of taking action and deciding the flow of the fight. But in this fight, I mean, with the exception of the very last fight, because they didn't have to, they had the dud anyway. But in this game, they were out there all the time, going aggressive, trying to get those angles on their opponents. And, well, as you can see, it paid off. And with that being a 9-kill win for them and 19 points in total, I would assume it should push them into first place over TonyTeam. TonyTeam did have a good game, but of course, theirs were marginally better. Now we'll see. Rewap 3 points in total. Stellar 0. Extends 0. Some of these top teams, they were not able to really rack up anything this game. Of course, 3 points is something, but not the amount that you'd be looking for if you want to make your way, or stay, I guess you can say, in the top 8. So we'll have to see the overall leaderboards probably coming up after the break. Wildcats, they are indeed in first place in this game. 9 points in total. And Boris sitting down on 13 points. Level, they had 10 kills and no placement points. They were racking up the Eastern rotations all game long, and I think they had 6 kills before we even got to Circle 2. So they were farming on the East while Chaos commenced on the West. Damage done in this match, 1,700 of it in the hands of the. It's also kind of interesting that Wildcats played and cleared the West, and Boris kind of played and cleared the East. So it was a pretty well split 2 teams, hard fighting 2 teams that made their way to the final game. But guys, while these stats are running over, I'm gonna go to a short break. So we'll be back, and we'll see the last 2 games in just a short moment. Again, I'm not sure if it's gonna be one more Miramar, if it's going to be 2 Erangel. I would assume it's 2 Erangel because we had 2 Miramar on day 2. So we'll see. Just a short moment. I'm gonna be back. See you guys real soon.